Today we are starting a new challenge. 3 new teams promoted to the Premier League from the Championship. And we are going to rebuild all 3 of them. Starting with Leeds United, who have won the Championship this season and are going back to the Premier League with expectations quite high. However, of course, in the last couple of seasons, the 3 promoted teams have always been relegated straight away again. Have the more detailed look at this Leeds squad. I have, of course, terminated the loan moves of those guys who were on loan to us and also those who were away out on loan. I've also put us into the Premier League along with the other 2 promoted teams, Burnley and Sunderland. But this is the team that stands out right now. Joe Pirro up top, we've got Brendan Aronson. In midfield, is it Brendan or Paxton? I'm not so sure, but he's 23, 74 rated. The biggest talent probably Nonto, the Italian right midfielder, 20 years old, 74 rated. Played with Leeds in the Championship, has done very well, and I'm expecting big things of him as well. Firpo, the left back, a steady man, former Barcelona player. Bogle, quite talented at right back. We've got Ampadu is only 23, Rodon is 26, and then in goal, I'm not so sure. Meslier is 24. We've put him in there for now, but I'm not so sure on the long term. We're also having a look at the youth academy already existing at the start. Max Stokes, a right back from England. I'm converting him to a left back as he's left-footed. We've got Lance Hunter from New Zealand, 16 years old, and Diego Maldonado from Chile, 3 quite talented youth academy players here, default. I've promoted all 3 of them and loaning all of them out as well. We've only got around 26 million, so not a lot of money to improve the squad. We need to sell certain players. We've made big amounts of cash here right now, selling a load of players, 4 in total, loaning out another 6 at least. So the biggest one is Rasmus Christensen going to Tottenham for 20 million. Jack Harrison leaves for Brentford. 8 million, 2.3 million for Patrick Bamford, who is now 30 years old, only 71 rated. And Sam Byram joins Rennes for 2.5 million. We've just made a rebuild with René. If you didn't see it, go and watch it. It was an absolute banger. Even Ilan Meslier joins Wolves, a very good deal, 2.8 million market value. We sold him for 5.1 million. He wanted a bigger challenge and also he wanted to get rid of him. He was a very promising keeper at one point, but really fell off a little bit. Maybe can revive his career. I mean, he's still only 24. In goalkeeper terms, that's quite young. That's very young, indeed. Now that's a better budget. 78 million to work with after selling half the squad. Not half the squad, but a good piece of it. At least 5 players. What I do want to do is replace Gruev. He's 24 but only 73 rated. Firpo as well at left back. I'm not so sure. I want to have him on the bench but not in the starting 11. Otherwise Bogle is still only 24. Tanaka I'm not so sure about, but he's 76 rated. That is good enough. We have to be ruthless as well because Premier League survival is not going to be easy. We have to have a mix of talent and also experienced players. But the goalkeeper is going to be probably the deciding factor of if we stay up or go down. We're still trying to stay kind of realistic here, especially at the start. Especially as we have been just promoted. Bringing in a 23-year-old whose contract was expiring. From the French League, from Montpellier to be exact. 8.7 million for Joris Chotard, a CDM. And next up, another quite smart move in my opinion. Another player whose contract was expiring. 24 years old. From Ipswich Town, who've just been relegated. Bringing in Leif Davies for just 13.8 million. That's a steal. The biggest transfer so far, especially in terms of wages, comes in form of a goalkeeper who is quite old right now. Coming back from the Saudi Pro League, of course, that's going to cost us about 80k in wages. He's tied to the club for a couple of years. It is Yassine Bonou joining us for 12.5 million from Al Hilal. He's one of the best older options out there. Junior Firpo has then also been sold to Besiktas for 9 million. Still leaving us with around 47 million, maybe a better striker than Joel Pirro. I wasn't sure about this signing, but then I took the opportunity and grabbed it with both hands. A man who plays in Saudi Arabia. I'm rating Saudi Arabia, but he's too good to play over there. Still way too young at the age of 20. Coming back to the Premier League, John Duran for 35 million plus Joel Pirou, who goes and grabs the Saudi bag instead of Duran. It's not as if Duran would be starving here. He still earns 71k at Leeds United. And so this is how we are lining up this season with Leeds. Shotar is of course new here. He's 22, 76 rated. Davies at left back, 24, 78 rated. Duran, the king signing, 20 years old, 79 rated, returning to the Prem. I'm really excited about him. And also about Yassine Bounou, the only real short-term signing, 33 years old. A valuable goalkeeper, even at this age. Premier League survival is the most important thing. Let's see if we can achieve that in Season 1 with our first team, Leeds. At the end of the first season, we finished in a wonderful 8th spot on 56 points. That's a crazy first season. We were actually just outside the European places. Newcastle probably in there, maybe even Spurs in 7th. We finished above the likes of Manchester United, Brighton, even Bournemouth only in 17, West Ham going down, along with Wolves and Sunderland. Only one of the promoted teams, Sunderland, going down on only 14 points. Still better than Southampton. The FA Cup goes to Liverpool over Chelsea. We've actually made it into the quarter-finals. Another good run here, getting knocked out by Manchester United. Man United lose the Carabao Cup final to Man City 4-1. Here we've been knocked out in round 3 on penalties by Newcastle United. James, what a season for this guy. 19 goals for the former Manchester United player. 16 for Willy Gnonto, who has grown by 5 ratings to a 79. 15 for John Duran. That's what I want to see. Still can do a little bit better, but 13 Premier League goals in his first season for Leeds is good. Our squad is coming together very nicely. Davies 78, Stroik 79, Ampadu up to a 78 as well, Bogle 78, Bounou still keeps his overall. We have Shotar up to a 78, Gnonto of course the biggest grower here, along with Duran, who is also up to an 82. I can't wait to go into Season 2. Brilliant finish in the Premier League, even quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Well done, lads. We've made a couple of moves. Maximilian Weber wanted to leave the club. He goes to Real Betis for 9 million. And Darko Gyabi joins Sheffield United for 3.3 million. Only 21 years old, but he hasn't got a high ceiling. Joshua Guilavogi, his contract was expiring, so I sold him for 400k. He's 34 right now. Only 400k his market value as well. On the face of it, the start 11 is not looking too bad. We have got Tanaka, who is now 26.79. Daniel James, even though he had a great season, I'm not so sure. He hasn't got a real bright future. He can't grow into the big 80s or so. Shotar, of course, is new. Aronson is only 24. Gnonto is a big diamond in the rough, as is Duran. Ampadu and Stroig, I'm not so sure for the future, but for now, I think they are fine, just like Davies, of course. 60 million to spend on the market. Here it is then, Ao Tanaka goes to Bayern Munich for 33 million. I just wanted to let him leave to be able to rebuild. He's, of course, only 26, and as soon as he goes to Bayern, he goes up by 1 rating. We bring in one big player who makes an instant impact in this team. He's already 32, but gives us valuable experience, winning the league in Germany unbeaten with Leverkusen. He's a former Arsenal player coming back to the Premier League in Granit Xhaka, joining for 50 million. I've then sent Daniel James to Crystal Palace for 24.5 million. Good budget, good money into our budget radar, to go in for another right midfielder. We do have around 70 million, but I want to bring in a smart option. The smartest option right now is to bring in the Turkish right midfielder for around 40 million from a Spanish club. It is Barış Alper Yilmaz joining us from Valencia for 37 million. Could have gone for Ryan Cherki, whose contract was expiring, a little bit just more expensive than Yilmaz, but I don't want to go for the same players all over again every single time. So that's why I brought in this guy. 25 years old, 81 rated, 92 pace, which is absolutely crazy. Xhaka, of course, the other signing. He's older, 32. But of course, as I said at the start of season 1, I want to have experience mixed with talent. Yilmaz only 25, Xhaka 32. Both those criteria have been fulfilled here. I'm excited to see how this team can follow up on the 8th place finish in another season, and we are in the Champions League. Second place, 79 points. That is crazy. Crazy stuff here within 2 seasons. Man City are the champions, but we are second, I can't believe it. Arsenal win the FA Cup over Man City. Here we've been knocked out quite early by Spurs in round 4. Carabao Cup goes to Arsenal over Villa. Well, it's been made to round 4, which is round of 16, but got knocked out by Liverpool on pens. The team to beat in the Champions League will be PSG, who have won it over Real Madrid. Europa League goes to Sparta Praha over Wolfsburg. The Conference League to Atalanta over Union Berlin. 33 goals by Duran, 17 by Nonto as well, 15 by Baris Yilmaz, 7 and 8 for Aronson, and 5 and 9 for Xhaka, who has now gone down to an 85 overall though. Still, this squad is great. I mean, Ampadu up to an 80 overall, we've got Stroig at an 81, Davies 80 overall, Bogle 80. Everyone in the squad, apart from maybe Shota, who is still only 24, is at over the overall of 80. Bonu still had an 84 overall, but now 35 years old, so we might need to look into that. Gonna let the contract of Alex Cairns run out. He's 33-64 rated. This rebuild is going brilliantly well. Within 2 seasons, we've made it from the Championship into the Champions League. That is absolutely mind-boggling. Champions League money coming in clutch, 113 million here for season 3. In one of my last rebuilds, I brought in Artur Vermeeren, but he was more of a squad role player. This time I bring him in as a starter. As an exciting prospect coming from Leipzig for 45 million, the Belgian CDM. Vermeeren is the only transfer for now. He slots into that CDM spot ahead of Shota, who didn't really develop that nicely. He can of course still overtake Xhaka in case this one drops massively down in rating this season. Yilmaz also someone to look out for. He didn't really grow so far since he joined us. I think he grew by 1 overall. Nonto, on the contrary, has grown so much. Davies also, as I said before, up to an 80 overall, which is at least calming to know that these guys still grow. Bonu is still our keeper. I'm fully aware that he might drop down. Darlow also retiring at the end of the season. Both 35 relatively well in the Premier League. 52 points at the halfway stage. More than the halfway stage after 24 games. 2 points ahead of Arsenal, 3 ahead of Chelsea. And even in the Champions League, we are cracking. We are absolutely cracking. We are doing our level best to finish this rebuild as soon as possible. Second place, only 1 loss all league phase long, 7 wins. Straight into the round of 16 against AS Monaco. Away from home, we have skipped the playoff round and win the first leg of the round of 16. Away to Monaco, Duran and Gnonto turn the game around. Let's confirm our spot in the quarterfinals. At Allen Road, absolutely Barış and Nonto with the goals, 4-2 on aggregate. We move. For the final time when we are facing Atalanta, first at home at Allen Road. And we win 2-1, Barış and Aronson with the goals. Williams Jr. equalizer, but 1 minute later, Aronson with the winner. We leg at the Atalanta Stadium and we win 3-0. We run over them, Barış, Aronson and Nonto, 5-1 on aggregate. We are in the semi-finals and have a real shot of completing the rebuild in Season 3. However, it's not going to be easy to get to the final as we are facing Arsenal in the semis. First away from home, Xhaka against his former club, and we lose 2-1. Gittens and Hanko with the goals for Arsenal. Is it going to happen tonight at home at Allen Road against Arsenal, or do we have to wait for longer? We have to wait for longer, but we took it to penalties. We have missed the first penalty to Nonto, our star player. Merino gave Arsenal an equaliser after we took a 2-0 lead, Nonto and Barry. So Nonto was the hero up until the penalty shootout. Crazy stuff, but we are out. We just about win the Premier League, but we've done it within 3 seasons. 84 points, 12 draws, only 2 losses, on same points than Arsenal, but it is Arsenal, of course. They were going to finish second. Nottingham Forest win the FA Cup. We've been knocked out by Liverpool in round 4. And the Carabao Cup goes to Chelsea over Norwich. Here we've been knocked by Bournemouth. Arsenal also lose the Champions League final to PSG. Europa League goes to Milan over Feyenoord. And the Conference League to Besiktas over Juventus. That's an upset. 34 goals by Duran, 30 goals by Nonto with 11 assists, 16 and 11 for Barış Yilmaz, and 13 and 20 assists for Brendan Aronson. Crazy. The team is developing so nicely as well. I don't know how, but Xhaka has gone up again. Bunu could keep his rating even though he's 36. I'm mind-boggled by how some players are doing. Vermeeren already up to an 87. We've got Duran 91, Nonto 88, Davies 81. Even the centre-back Zampadu up to an 84 overall. The growth on FC25 is crazy. We've done brilliantly well, unbelievably well. Nearly won the Champions League, reached the semi-finals, won the Premier League on points difference. I mean, what could you ask for more? Very important here at the start of Season 4, we don't have a backup goalkeeper anymore. Bruno is 36, but we need a backup goalkeeper, or at least a keeper in general. We've quite simply made the business of the century happen right now, bringing in a 35-year-old keeper to pair up with a 36-year-old. He's right now backup keeper at Barcelona because they've got a 90 rated one. It's Marc-Andre Ter Stegen joining us for 8.3 million at Leeds. Ter Stegen replaces Bunu. They are probably going to switch around sometime, but yeah, this is a great starting 11. I don't want to touch anything else for now. Ampadu and Stroik still growing. So is Bogle, so is Davies. I mean, this team has great chemistry, and this is the one that I want to take going forward. First test of the season is against Nottingham Forest, the FA Cup winners, in the Community Shield, and we win 3-2. Ramazani came on and scored the win after Duran scored a couple as well. We aren't doing that well this season in the Premier League so far. After 24 games on 39 points, only in 6th position. On the other hand, in the Champions League phase, we've absolutely delivered, also in 6th position, but that gives us a qualification to the round of 16. First leg, round of 16, we are facing Atletico Madrid, away from home. Let's see how this turns out. It's a 1-1 draw, Nonto and Alvarez with the goals. Second leg at Ellen Road, facing Atletico Madrid, 1-1 from the first leg, and we win 4-3 after extra time. Nonto Xhaka. And Xhaka again with a brace, the old man, along with Ramazani, the substitute, with the final goal. 5-4 on aggregate, an absolute cracker. Now that is the ultimate test, facing Arsenal in the quarterfinals. First at Allen Road at home, and we lose 2-0. Saka and Brobbey with the goals. We are on the back foot again. Would be a miracle if we were to turn things around away from home at Arsenal, and we don't. Duran scores a goal, but we are out in the quarterfinals. At the end of the day, we still finish in 2nd place in the Premier League on 74 points, so we are once again qualified for the Champions League phase next season, in Season 5. Burnley win the FA Cup over Peterborough. What a final. We actually lost to Peterborough in the semi, so yeah, we got a little bit embarrassed here, I gotta say. Newcastle win the Carabao over Fulham on penalties. Here we've been knocked out by Man United in round 3 already on penalties. AC Milan win the Champions League over Manchester City. Europa League goes to Leverkusen over Nottingham Forest, and the Conference League to RC Lens over Spurs. This season again, John Duran, 51 goal contributions, 40 goal contributions for Brendan Aronson, who is up to an 87, 17 and 8 for Nonto, and 16 and 10 for Barış Alper Yilmaz. Still wasn't enough though to clinch the Champions League. Our team here at the end of Season 4 is absolutely fantastic. We've nearly done it. We've once again reached semi-finals of FA Cup. We are the winners of the Community Shield, second in the Premier League, and also, it doesn't even show here, but the quarter-finals of the Champions League. So at the start of yet another season, we've sold a few players. Joe Rodon goes to Southampton at the age of 30. Granit Xhaka at the age of 35. Still, we get 52 million for him out of Wolfsburg. Sam Chambers joined Sheffield United and Charlie Crew goes to Norwich. What we'll certainly need is a better CDM than Shota, who is good from the bench, but not in the starting 11. The fullbacks are alright, maybe a better left back than Davies, but also probably a better centre back than Struijk. Both are 28 years old. So first off, we go in for a new left back, replacing Leif Davies in the end. In a swap deal as well, Lewis Hall joining us from Atalanta for 30 million plus Davies. Next up, we bring in a CDM who can replace Granit Xhaka, same overall but 10 years younger. Coming from the French league, from AS Monaco, Pape Matar Sarr, former Spurs player, joining us for 60 million. A final upgrade as well, bringing in a new centre-back to replace Struijk, at least from the starting 11. Still can be a great bench option, Struijk, but this man is only 27, 87 rated, a Dutchman. Former Spurs player, and also for some reason playing for Athletic Club. Of course, they only bring in players from their own regions, but here we bring him in from there for 100 million, Mickey van der Ven. With 3 new players coming in, first the Englishman Hall for left back, van der Ven at centre back, and Sarr at CDM. We've really strengthened that holy trinity, Hall, van der Ven, Sarr, in defense and midfield, because the rest of the team is already built different. Also giving us the opportunity to bring Bunu, Struijk, also Shotar to the bench. Stokes from the youth academy still waits for the loan. Halfway point of season 5, and we are in the lead in terms of the Premier League. 2 points clear of Manchester City, 6 ahead of Arsenal, and 7 clear of Liverpool. We've also qualified for the round of 16 of the Champions League phase, finishing in 3rd position, 6 wins, 0 draws, 2 losses. First leg away from home, we are playing RB Leipzig, and it's a 3-all draw, an absolute banger of a game. Sarr, Parish and Duran with the goals for a team that have got Lookman in attack along with Gyökeres, a crazy good team. Konate at the back as well. It's a showdown, second leg at Leeds United ground, Elland Road, and it's a 2-0 win. Aronson and Nonto, 36th and 72nd minute, 5-3 on aggregate. We dispatch RB Leipzig. Last season we were knocked out by a London club in Arsenal. Now we are facing Chelsea in the quarter-finals. First at home, and it's a 1-all draw in the first leg. Pacho with the lead for Chelsea, Duran with the equaliser. Facing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, we've never made it further than the quarter-finals. But now is the time, and we do. Duran in the 88th minute, the only goal of the game, putting us through to the semi-finals at the expense of Chelsea. Inter, while Barcelona and Bayern are facing off in the other semi-final. We get the win away from home at Inter. Zeremeri gave the team from Milan the lead, but Barry Alper Yilmaz and Nonto turned the game around for Leeds, and we are in a pole position for the second leg. Now, can we see through against Inter at home an absolute dominant performance? 3-0, John Duran brace and a Nonto goal. We are in the Champions League final, 5-1 on aggregate. Absolutely, massively deserved. In the Champions League final, we'll be facing Barcelona, the Spanish Catalan giants. In the end, we run away with the league, 13 points clear of Manchester City and 15 clear of Arsenal. First place, 89 points, only 3 defeats all season long. What a season. And we lose the FA Cup final. Could have had a shot at a treble this season if we won that game, but we lose 1-0 to Chelsea in the final. While the Carabao Cup goes to Man City over Arsenal, here we've been knocked out by Wrexham of all clubs in round 3. That's very poor. A Jurgen Klopp derby in the Europa League final goes to Dortmund over Liverpool, Whilst the Conference League again, Spurs loses that final, this time to Real Sociedad on penalties. I mean, Duran has constantly put up numbers in the 50s in terms of both appearances and goal contributions. 44 goals, 10 assists. 31 goals and 15 assists for Brendan Aronson, who's been one of the unsung heroes of this rebuild. 24 goals for Nonto, he's up to a 94. Duran, by the way, 95 rated. Yilmaz up to an 88 with 16 goals. And even Saaf from CDM with 12 goals. However, now it is time to play the Champions League final. With the super squad we've created, still players like Ampadu and Bogle, as well as Aronson and Nonto in the starting 11 from the OG Leeds setup. They have got a good team. I hope they can give it a fight next season in the Premier League in real life. But now it is showtime here. Here's Luis Hall looking for Nonto. This is Nonto finding space for Aronson, who puts us in front after just 6 minutes. Our very first attack turns to goals. What a display by the whole offensive department. Nonto running into space, controlling the ball, having an overview of where Aronson is, passing it to him, and an easy goal. Not an easy goal, but a great goal by Aronson. Nonto with the throw-in for John Duran. Here is John Duran linking up back again with Nonto, who loses it first but then wins it back. A bit of luck, Duran. Good chance, good block. Aronson looking for Nonto. Nice play. Back to Aronson. Now Pape Matassa and Remiro with the save. This is a high quality final. Probably the best teams in the world at this stage. As now Hall sends Nonto again. This is Nonto looking for Duran. Duran seeing Aronson. Great save, Remiro. Of course, Marc-Andre ter Stegen is also playing against his former club as now a mistake occurs, but Ampadu is there to block it. As here is Sunset. Good ball into Fermin. This is Fermin with the equalizer. 70 minutes in, Barcelona finally find their opening and their goal. Here's Guimaraes. Oh, careful, here's Openda now, and former Barcelona keeper ter Stegen with a great save. Now he could go on a counter. If we play that ball right, we do. Here's Nonto. Nonto one-on-one with a fast Balde. But Nonto brings us back ahead. Our very own Lamine Yamal, OG of Leeds United. And if he can get even anywhere near where we've developed him in this rebuild, in this universe, then he'd be an absolute world beater in a few years' time. Here come Barcelona one last time. It's already added on time. They lose the ball. Nonto collects. Aronson doesn't even get to it anymore. And he doesn't need to. 2 minutes of added on time over. Leeds United from the Championship to the Champions League to the Premier League title and now to the Champions League trophy. We've done it all with Leeds, apart from winning the FA Cup, where we were very close to this season. We could have done a treble. In the end, we settled for a double, which is more than good enough as well. A team with 4 OGs, absolutely brilliant. I love this Leeds United rebuild. Don't forget that in the upcoming week or so, there will be uploads of the other 2 promoted teams, Burnley and Sunderland. Wolves, of course, got promoted recently to the Premier League. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you are subscribed to the channel. Like the video if you did enjoy it, in fact. And I'm going to say I will see you again next time. Ampadu lifting the UCL trophy. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Until a couple of days later, where we will see each other again. It's been Rebuild Sombrero. Until then, goodbye.